Okay, today's 29th, so trying to figure out what's going on with my YouTube. Make sure we be good. All right. All right. I know we having a delay up in here with YouTube. So anyway, thank everybody for coming in tonight. This is I presenting more of a town hall discussion. What's going on? What we heard earlier today, as far as with the Supreme Court striking down affirmative action. So try to get more people up in here. I know it's a Thursday evening. Really, I don't go live on Thursday evening, but try to see who's in here. Mr. Quay, happy. Thank you for coming in again. Congratulations on the marriage. Let's see what all right. We got Miss Modest. How you doing? Trying to see how many people coming in. Everybody know what's going on. Everybody know we are live right now. No problem, no problem. Let's get up to about at least 30, get up to at least 30, 35 people watching. We'll get started. Got Miss Mary up in here from the Sheep 305 as always. Long time supporter. We got Mr. Mr. Jamie. Let's see if Mr. Ford was gonna come on today. And if anybody wants to come on, because like I said, this is more of a town hall than what we'll actually have as far as our podcast go. So trying to spread out the good news, spread the good news out there. But I'm gonna let y'all know right now it is still it's about 104, 105 degrees today here in Dallas. Um, and pretty much it's gonna get hotter until this weekend, and then we're supposed to be getting some rain here in Dallas. But it all depends on how the weather is. And then staying in an apartment on the second floor doesn't make it even better. Doesn't make it better. But make sure that y'all check out our sponsors. Um, we work for everything.org. Make sure if you want to become an exclusive member to the channel, all you have to do is just jump out of the chat, hit the join button, and you choose between two colors, blue or purple. And every cent that when you become a member, an exclusive member, it does go back to the channel. It does not go in my pocket. And then make sure that y'all share this with folks and we subscribe to the channel. Oh yes, and just like you said, JSU men's basketball is doing a fundraiser for at Raising Canes in North Jackson on Northside, not Northside Drive, but County Line Road. I think that's County Line Road at the Raising Canes in Ridgeland, Mississippi. It's from 4 to 8, so you pretty much got 1 hour left to go and support JSU men's basketball team. But just try to get people to come up in here and make sure we get it all out the way. So I got a question for everybody that's on here right now. What was your thoughts about the decision by the Supreme Court today? What was the decision by the Supreme? What was your thought of what the Supreme Court decided on today? All right, Miss Brandy. So the first person I seen on here is Eagle Eyesight, who pretty much has kind of enlightened me on a lot of things. So he just put it in here. This was a verdict that I expect because the lawyers for both UNC and Harvard keep bringing up diversity as the main argument for race as one fact out of many. Now is the time to start building lawsuits on two fronts. One of funded equality, and two building a case against the schools for racial discrimination. And then he also said, as we've seen it where the affirmative action is eliminated, that black enrollment drops among qualified applicants. And the last thing he said is if schools are willing to discriminate against black people, then we should be suing for money, not for students to attend those schools for HBCUs. Hey, hey, it is what it is. I got my guy Zoe up in here. What's going on, Zoe?
What up, Doc? What's
Man,
going on with you, man?
hey, I'm good, man. And we up in this damn heat again, as always. It's
Man,
hot out here. It's hot as hell.
yeah, I'm actually up here at Canes, man. Just actually getting done with everything up here.
Okay, how everything going? How we do?
I mean, we did great, man. We had a good turnout, man. Quite a few people were there, man. The entire basketball team was here, so we had a good turnout.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Good. I want to see that basketball team. So, what you thought about today's ruling by the Supreme Court?
Man, I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place with it. On the surface, I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I think it sends a lot of. I was actually just talking about this. I don't like it, but I also think that I'm a half glass full kind of person, so I'm trying to see if there's any type of good where we could benefit from it. And the only thing I could actually try to come up with is that I think that it could help us with regards to getting more kids to HBCUs in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From this, but that's pretty much where I draw the line at. I think that the only thing I don't like is the optics of it, and that is it kind of marries this whole getting rid of critical race theory, or as they call it, critical race theory in all these states. And it seems like something that's being done as if like there's a segment of people that want to do the work of a particular president who's not in office anymore. And it's like he's not here, but let's continue his work for him, if that makes any sense. And it has that kind of feel to me. But on the surface, no, I don't like it at all. Just because the optics of it doesn't look good, and let's not act like we don't have a history in this country about doing things that work against black and brown people.
Right.
Um, and when I say that, for any, white people who actually may watch this, no, we don't. When I say that, I don't think that all white people are racist. Actually, they aren't. I
Right.
just feel that, we tend, I was just saying this too. I really believe that most black and brown people, we walk around and we live in this society as if racism doesn't exist, and that the masses in this country look out for our best interests, and that's just not the case. And we need to stop being naive and realize that the people in this country, there's a history and there's a data there, and that doesn't include everybody. But again, we can't act like things in this world aren't the way that they are.
Right. Man, I kind of said it like this that now I think we knew that in certain aspects we knew that this case was coming. You know, they was going to make the ruling on this case. Tamona had a made a good case on it that she been following it for like the last couple of months. Uh, Miss Ford been following the last couple of months. Like, just make sure, like, that we gotta understand that this is gonna this is gonna affect us as far as our enrollments, as our endowments and stuff like that. This is gonna affect us in the long run
In multiple ways.
in multiple ways. Uh, in a sense, I know we talked about this last night. Pertaining to sports, like with the NCAA raising fees to jump from FCS to FBS and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Now, now, like let's just put it on the sports. Let's put it on the sports on the sports magnet, right?
Exactly.
Do 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 those top black athletes go to our institutions?
No, not by and large, they don't.
That's what I'm saying. So does it take in the fact that we'll get more top black athletes to come to our institutions, like the 5 stars, the number one overall, um, you know what I'm saying, recruit to come to your country, to come to your university and your colleges? Nah, it will sway certain decisions by these kids' parents. Like, well, we taking the fact that kids got to do their research. Parents
Well,
got to
let me add this point to that too, because I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
go ahead.
When you look at the FCS landscape, right, and let's just look over the past. Let's just use the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the schools that actually made the jump from FCS to FBS. Okay,
Right,
those schools who actually made the jump don't have an issue with resources to make that jump.
right.
So the $5,000 to the $7 million price tag, for the most part, for every school that made the jump in the past 10 years, is not a hindrance. It's not an issue.
Huh,
Also bear in mind that when you have conference movement like that, the conference that you're actually going to is actually going to assist you in the move as well, right?
right.
So let's just take a look. Who do you think would have an issue with that dollar amount? HBCUs.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah. I see.
So but now there is one caveat. I'm not gonna get into it, but there's a loophole to all this with
Mm-hmm.
this whole moving up there. There's a loophole. I'm not gonna get into it. That's for everybody else because that's a whole different show for a whole other time. But there is a great loophole through this whole thing about moving up from FCS to FBS, but that's for another show. But the thing that I want to point out is there is an issue when you're talking about moving up because again, that really only affects, what I'm saying, HBCUs when you talk about the monetary aspect of it. But it also goes to show, which we've said in the past, people would say, "Oh, so and so can't afford to move up." You know what I mean? When
Mm-hmm.
we've always told you it wasn't an expensive move to go up to FBS. And now they stripped all the other stipulations with attendance and everything else when you're talking about moving up to FBS. So we've always said that it was advantageous for it to get done. But everybody always said what we couldn't do and what we should. how we were going to be able to afford. So the thing is, that didn't apply to us. So
Right.
it goes to show. So you gonna sit tell me that HBCUs couldn't afford to pay $5,000? Yeah, we could. The thing was, being able to fund all the other sports because you have to make that jump as an independent and having the funds to do so. So that's the main thing now. But this is a monumental day in college in collegiate athletics, man. It really, really is.
So yeah, and the reason why I asked that question because, like I said, with this case, with the case that just came about with the Supreme Court, which basically was decided on a supermajority, six six conservative justices and three liberal justices, 6-3. Um, what as far as the academic side, what does this do for our schools? As far as the academic side, do we get the best of the best as far as the minds, intellectual minds coming to our schools, or are we going to be where we at right now?
It's I don't want to give raw emotion to it. I just take a wait and see approach. It's kind of hard to say. It really is. Just know this is a transformational day. Now, if I had to take a guess, I believe we'll have a slight uptick. But man, with the way things been going and the way that a lot of black people tend who actually go to FBS programs and other schools tend to devalue HBCUs, I don't know, man. I really can't call it. It's kind of hard to say.
And it to
I
me,
would I would like to hope that we will really get an uptick of students to actually come back to HBCUs, but it's hard to say right now.
that's like this one said. The problem is that we don't have the capacity at our schools because look at the open positions at the schools. I understand where you're coming from on there. Brandy said that we need to expand the SCOTUS and get the term limits.
I
Uh,
agree.
I've been agreeing with that because if you got Uncle Ruckus, Clarence Thomas still sitting on on the bench and he ain't got with the times, yeah, it's about time to change. And then and then both people got to realize that man got his position through affirmative action. In a sense, he
The
got
i- the the irony, right?
the irony of the whole thing. He got his whole position through affirmative action, and now he wants
And
to.
watch this. And watch this. Do you know what his vote was
His vote was to
to end it?
end it.
His vote was to end it. That's what I'm saying. The irony, right?
The irony of the whole thing, and then um his dissenting argument against Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. I just I did not like it. I did not like it. Um, Going after her because what I'm saying she's the last justice to be appointed uh, by the president, and she checked off everything as far as being qualified for it. And the thing about it is, she didn't use affirmative. I don't think she used affirmative action. I think she was qualified for what for the position. Um,
Hmm.
um, now, now everybody, and I've been listening to the news, and I've been listening to looking at stuff, reading stuff, and they've been talking about the legacies. They've been talking about legacies, like where the kid get in because you went to school there. You probably got a building named after, what I'm saying, after you on a campus. So now you are pretty much almost obligated to go to that university or the college or stuff like that. What do you think about as far as when it comes to down to that uh type of issue?
What was that last part? You were breaking up a little bit.
Oh, well, you think about that last issue, like with legacies and stuff.
I didn't get the full gist of it, so I couldn't even comment on that portion of it. I didn't even read the whole everything about the striking down. I caught a little bit about the legacy, but I don't know enough of what they said about it to even comment on it. I won't put my foot in my mouth. But you
Um,
can fill me. But you can fill me in. Go ahead, and tell me what happened.
so they said so like Jay Blue said, legacies make up about 30% of all admissions at the Ivy League schools. So they are the
Uh-huh.
ones talking. So basically, they saying he's saying that they the ones that's taking up the spots at the schools. So like if you got a kid that went to, you went to, let's say, the University of Texas, and you got a building, or you donated
Yep.
money, you donated money to a
Hmm.
school and named the building or whatever after you, and basically it is like a nepotism. That's all it is.
Okay. Yeah.
It's pretty
Just
much,
okay. Standard legacy practice, like with
yeah,
a lineage at one institution.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That's I don't know, man. Look, at the end of the day, you already know, in my opinion, anything that's set down with any type of law or ruling is not going to work in brown, black and brown people favor. So, it's kind of hard to even be objective or even open minded about it because we already know when it comes down to it, we'll get the short end of the stick. It's going to affect us in a negative connotation, no matter how we slice it. I mean, that's just fact.
I,
And you have to be, and you have to be conditioned to even think so. We just have to react and move accordingly.
so this is something I say. Affirmative action was only supposed to be used for qualified candidates and students to protect them against discrimination, and now you want to get rid of it. That
Hey,
makes
man.
that makes that makes no sense whatsoever. You basically, the ruling majority in the Supreme Court on that decision basically contradicted
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, hey, water's wet, right?
itself. Yeah.
Yeah. And I even see said in the comment, like, this ruling will affect corporate America for the minority. I mean, I think it's like everything else. I think it's going to spread across so many other avenues that we aren't even talking about because we're only thinking about colleges. You see what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
think it's going to affect on so many. I mean, it almost has a feeling, and I hate to even say this, it almost has a feeling of like Jim Crow, separate but equal.
Yeah. And eagle eyesight. The problem is that once again we let some build a different narrative around what the law was supposed to be.
But that we can say that about a lot of things.
Yeah, we
We
can
can say that about a lot of things.
say that about a lot of things. I mean,
Yeah.
it ain't, to us. It's like, I mean, I don't know, but I want to see the up. I want to see the uptick in enrollment for our universities, our universities and our colleges. But with that uptick in enrollment, you're gonna have to give us some
But
numbers.
here's the thing, though. So here's why I'm gonna play devil's advocate, right, to my own statement. To add to what you're saying, like let's just say we did a significant uptick in enrollment, right?
Hmm.
But watch this. You and I are saying that because we're under the premise that typically, if our numbers go up, we get this from the government. But again, that's us thinking that everything is fair and cut across the board. But
Right.
again, that's moving with the mindset as if racism don't exist or classism doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? And we're holding it to something. But they change laws and renege on stuff all the time. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? Because even if we get that uptick, that doesn't guarantee anything. It looks good, you know what I'm saying? But
Definitely.
again, I mean, because it's the year 2023, and we still have Southern school HBCUs suing the state that they're in that's withholding money from them. Still to this day, Tennessee State is getting money from the state of Tennessee. FAMU students are suing the state of Florida.
Hmm.
Mississippi, when we had the Ayers case,
Yeah.
they're trying to put stipulations in to raise, enrollment for minority students for white kids or minorities to get to a HBCU as a means to hold on to the money. I mean, so that's what I'm saying. We move around as if racism doesn't exist, and and that it applies to everything, bro. It really does.
Yeah. Yeah. Brother George said it's been documented that white women benefited the most from affirmative action,
Affirmative action.
and were the most vocal against it. Yeah. Let me see. We got hold on. Randy said yep, she says many people believe integration was the downfall of the black community, but that's a whole different conversation. I mean, it ties into everything that we talking about too. If
And Eagle Eyesight, yeah, you're right. I'm not saying just southern states. I'm just saying in general, you know, that proves my point. We're making decisions thinking that if we do this, well, this will benefit us. But even if it's benefiting us, it really isn't benefiting us because, again, we move around in society in 2023, and some of us act like America isn't going to America.
right,
We act like racism doesn't exist. We act like redlining doesn't exist. We act like gerrymandering doesn't exist. It does. Like we act like the banks that we go to don't redline against us, but then we still do business and get accounts with these same banks.
mm-hmm,
I mean, we act like none of this stuff exists. You see what I'm saying? We move on, and that's what kills me because we devalue each other, and yet and still we act like we aren't dealing with the crap that we're dealing with in this country. It's actually it's frustrating as hell, man. And it goes back to what James Baldwin always says that to be relatively conscious in this country is to have you in a rage all the time,
right.
and it's crazy. And I hate to really talk about race because it's not the end all be all, but at the same time, it's the end all be all because it's the elephant in the room, and we act like it doesn't exist. It's in everything that we do. Seriously.
I get what Eagle Eye is saying. He's also saying talking about we can't stop fighting because like we
No, we
want
can't.
we always stop after that we won that one case and we just stop and then guess what? We right back to going suing and going to court and fighting for the necessary things that we need. So I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
it's I mean this is just one thing. Like, and it's crazy because it's been like everything we people been we've been talking about as far as on a legal level. They have the Supreme Court has it has struck down Roe versus Wade with what I'm saying Roe versus Wade. They struck that down.
Hmm.
Rights Act. They trying to tear that apart. Affirmative action. They trying to get at they gutted that as far as college admissions. Now, what's the next thing that
Hmm.
they're wait? What's the next thing they're gonna strike down? Because all this is all remember all of this is from either pre or post civil rights era.
Hmm.
That's it. Everything that we got, everything that they've been striking down is either during the civil rights era or after the civil rights era. So
Hmm.
so it the question is, what are they gonna take away next? What's the next thing that we we as African Americans in this country value the most? I mean, the main thing we value is our freedom, and sometimes we don't even value that.
I was about to say, so, not everybody values it, but some of us.
So what are we going? What is the thing that they're gonna strike down next? Because I'm just saying like this: if this was a even playing field with the Supreme Court, this would not have been struck down. That Roe versus Wade would have not been touched. That civil
Yep.
rights would not have been touched.
But here's the thing too. I think I think it says a lot that the fact that we even had to have a Roe versus Wade. You see what I'm saying? I think it's again, it's very telling that we even have to have it. It's very telling that we even had to have affirmative action. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I mean, I don't know, man. It just really makes everything uncomfortable, man. It kind of lets you know where we are, at least to some of us, if you really think about it. But some of us are just going to gloss over this. Again, it's going to be just whatever. It's not affecting me personally. They'll say and move on as if nothing ever happened. You know what
Right.
I mean? And I don't know, man. It's tiring. It's deflating. I definitely tell you that, man. It doesn't feel good.
And yeah, Ronald, you right. The ringleader of the whole thing is one that benefited the most out of this, and he wanted to strike it down.
Yep.
He basically said, "Yeah, I got in it through affirmative action, and since I'm already in it, and I'm good with the white folks, let me just go ahead and strike it. Give them this idea and just strike it down. For what? What does
And
that benefit?
and let me say this too, because even saying that, right? Because I want to make sure I point this out, so things aren't attached to your platform. You know, when somebody makes a comment and say he's cool with white folks, it's not a meaning all white people. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because again, we're not saying that all white people are racist, and we know they're going in. But again, there's race, but race played a factor in this decision making.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
There is no doubt about that, and that's a shame, and that's a shame. In the year 2023, that's a shame.
Uncle said, what's going on, man?
Man, what's going on? What's going on? North. What are with it?
What's going on,
North.
man? What's that what to
Man,
do,
not
man?
much. Man, what to do, man? I had to come on and what's going on, nephew?
What's up?
Uh, man, I've been at it all day with this man, and the only thing, man, it's going to affect corporate America because see the thing about it is you know because at my job I started an initiative as far as summer interns as long as they went to an HBCU. And now I'm gonna be looked at side eye because they have a cover. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But while affirmative action was going on, they didn't have a cover. It had to be done. And I'm very blessed because I know that you know North he went to post office and you're in Texas and Ken he's out in a liberal state out there in Cali. But my only thing is what my brothers and sisters in Mississippi gonna go do because we already know what Tater Tot is gonna do. He's gonna
Yeah.
run with this. He's gonna run with this, and it's just my only thing is that, and I was trying to put it out there in the chat. If we got any body with government service of any type, let's go ahead and try to use your point system to apply for government jobs. For the salesmen, get into big ticket sales. Via because we're all educated, so try to get into pharmaceuticals. Hell, go sell some shit at a funeral home. Just where we are right now. We gotta prepare. We gotta get ready to fight the fight. If you get what I'm saying.
I get what
Um,
you're saying.
because it's man, like I said, I've been at odds all day, and I thank God for Timona. She was telling me about I knew about Twitter, but she kept saying it like I gave a story earlier today about how I ended up getting on it, and my Twitter was blowing up and all this stuff. That's when I found out. But look, culture. I know you guys educated, whether you graduate high school, college, it doesn't matter. At this point, you need to be upwards of yourself and for your family. I mean, you got to let these resumes flow starting next week. Hell, if you ask me tomorrow,
Yeah.
because you better
Facts.
go ahead and start locking in. You better start
Because
going
the
ahead and locking in.
because the game changed today.
These
Yeah.
jobs. Yeah, it did. You're right. So you're right.
The
It
game
changed,
changed
and
today.
and the thing it changed. Cause see, the thing about it is what I want our people to understand. They don't have to explain
Yeah.
you having 100 points, and they might have 75, and you don't get hired. They don't have to explain that
Yep.
individual.
Hmm.
Yep.
That's not a. And see, what you gotta also gotta understand is that's not that's not an EEOC file or complaint anymore.
Right.
I'll also add to your point, and
Uh-huh.
I'm speaking solely for the South.
Uh-huh.
Understand that a lot of things that get done that benefit us are done because of a federal mandate, not statewide. Because if it really came to
Exactly.
statewide, if it came to statewide, we'd be up shit creek without a paddle. And so now
That's
that
right.
whole federal mandate that actually helped you and that you benefited from, as of today, that's gone. That's gone.
I've been, man,
So that's why I'm
brothers,
saying the game changed today, and
I've
people
been
cannot take
stressing.
it serious if they don't want to. But the game got changed. The game got muddy today. It was already muddy, but now
Mm,
it's on paper and documented that it's muddy. The game got changed today.
yeah.
Family in the chat. I'm not saying that your jobs are not paying anything. I'm not saying that, but please, ma'am, please, sir, have a plan B, because you got to understand this also counteracts promotions.
Yeah.
So even if you have the time and grade, and you have the experience, and you have the degrees, they do not have to promote you,
Right.
and they will actually have that in writing, and it wouldn't be anything that you can do. So that would not be an EEOC violation.
It's
So
law.
please, ma'am, please, sir, please put your thinking caps on. Just apply, 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 because at the end of the day, these
Man,
these 2,500 square foot homes, 1,700, 5,000 Lexus, Teslas, hell, Nissans, Honda, they have to
Mm,
be paid for.
yeah.
I look.
So please,
I don't think people really understand what you just said. Because like pretty much everybody who works, and I'm not even talking about corporate America. When you talk about EEOC things, those are federal mandates, y'all. Those are federal things
Yeah.
yeah,
that's attached, you know what I'm saying, with your job. And I'm telling you, you know how companies work. And I'm not talking about corporate America. We're just talking about either standard warehouse job, things of that nature. Any of those things that tie with
exactly.
EEOC, those are federal things. It's not stateside. And we go look, we ain't got to tell y'all about how things are down south and how they get down. Or you dealing with stuff on your job and then you can actually file an EEOC complaint and then get things rectified. Those days are over with.
Mm-hmm.
So now,
It's over with.
you talking
And
about. So now you can sit and talk about things on your job, but now you don't have a cushion. You don't have any protection.
yeah,
I mean, y'all
and
better
see,
marinate on that.
this man, this gonna affect unions and all that, man. So
Yeah. This. I.
Jesus Christ,
I
man, Lord
think that. I
Jesus.
think that's. And like I said, the man who benefited the most from this, from that order, that protection, is the one that wants to gut it, that wants to take it away. And you know what I'm saying, get in bed with them fellows right there. You got to play by their rules now, because that. I mean, literally, that's what's going on with them.
And to add to what Brother Zoe is saying, it's not so much that I'm worried about people in this chat per se, because it's with all of us, we kind of I would say kind of locked in,
Mm-hmm.
but but the biggest thing is that we don't know what this picture is going to look like 12 months from now. So please, ma'am, please, sir, let's let's use what you've learned, and let's man, because this is, man, when I say this stuff had me flustered. Hell, when I got on that chat with y'all, I ain't been back to work since. I just came on and drove to Jackson. Yeah, hell, I'm down here now. So I mean, it's, man, I had to just go say hey to my mama, man. But just please, man, please, sir, please understand that the picture that is today is heading towards a different picture 12 months from today with that. And that's one reason why they were so big on getting rid of that Roe versus Wade.
Yeah.
You guys need to understand that. And this is like a real hit. But let's just hope that we can work together to try to get some of this governmental money before it just goes to Ole Miss, Mississippi State, University of Texas, University of Tennessee, basically the SEC, basically Power Five. We need to look at it like that.
So my thing about it here, being here in Texas, like, okay, how affirmative action played in for us here in the state of Texas. Herman J. Sweet, he wanted to go to University of Texas Law School, right? UT at the time still, they were still, segregated. So basically, that's how the Thurgood Marshall School of Law came about at Texas Southern. So with that in mind, with affirmative action in mind, that's how we created here in the state of Texas. That's how we created the law school at Texas Southern, because they wouldn't take a black man at the time because it was it was segregated. It was segregated, and in parts of University of Texas is still segregated. I don't care what anybody say; it's still segregated to me. Um, I wouldn't even. I wouldn't even. I don't even want to watch University of Texas. Just when I learned about that when I was younger, I was like, nah, I don't even want to. At one point in time, I wanted to go to UT, and then I was like, you know what, F it. I'm gonna go to my local blast. I'm gonna go to my local blast school.
I ain't gonna even lie.
Hmm.
What's done pissed me off? God damn it, they doing all this shit because we finna kick some ass and take names this season, and they pulling this mess now, man. Boy. But I'm gonna post my personal email on the chat. If anybody want to get with me, um, I've been hitting up, centers of influences, and that's part of the culture, of course, and contacts. So if anybody needs anything, in the South or wherever, man, let's work together because the time is now. We see how they really feel, and they're showing us how they really feel. So please, ma'am, again, please, ma'am, please, sir, understand what 12 months from now is going to look like. So if you got sales experience and a degree, go and try to apply for pharmaceutical sales. I mean, just a lot of stuff, accounting, legal, whatever,
Mhm.
engineering, you need to apply up right now. Like apply up. Like please apply. Please, ma'am, please, sir, apply up. No matter what you're doing within these next 2 weeks to a month to 90 days, go ahead and apply up and interview up because we don't know what's going to happen within these next 12 months.
So a thing Musa was like said, why kids not going to law medical school or engineering school is because majority of our HBCUs don't carry graduate studies for things like that.
So let me tell you that, Doc. So let me give you an example. I'm gonna
Yeah.
speak right here in Mississippi, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one issue that we faced is there's only one medical school in the entire state of Mississippi. It
Yep.
belongs to Ole Miss,
Yep.
and guess where it's located?
In
In
Jackson.
Jackson. Ole Miss is in Oxford, Mississippi, which is 2 hours away, but yet their medical school is right here in Jackson. Jackson State doesn't have anything medical, and they'll say because it's in close proximity to the current medical school that they have, right? Now
Mm-hmm.
they say that because of close proximity, right? Jackson State doesn't have a law school, yet Mississippi College has a law school,
Right.
and Ole Miss has a law school. Do you know where Mississippi College is located? In
It's,
Clinton, Mississippi. Do you know where the law school is? Downtown Jackson. But yet they'll say it's in why? Because it's in close proximity. So Jackson State doesn't have a law school, nor does Jackson State have a medical school. But guess what? And that was with affirmative action.
mm-hmm.
So you think we stand a chance of getting one now without one? So to answer your question, see, it goes like that. There are so many underlying things here. There's only one architecture school. I'm sorry, architecture school right here in the whole entire state of Mississippi. It belongs to Mississippi State. Guess what that is? It's
Yeah,
in
Jack.
Jackson, Mississippi. Starkville is 2 hours away from Jackson. So all of this plays hand in hand with this. Alcorn doesn't have anything medical. Alcorn has a nursing program. That's it.
Mhm.
That's it. That's it. Nothing else medical. But again, like I stated, we act as if race doesn't play into any of this. And every state has their own little nuances of crap that they got to deal with along these lines.
Right.
Louisiana had to deal with Bobby Jindal and his foolishness.
Oh my God.
When Grant, you see what I'm saying? So every state has a different way about going about dealing with the foolishness that they deal with. But yet still, like I say, we just go on with our lives day to day as if racism and race doesn't play a factor in all the stuff that's going on.
But it do though. That's the thing. Oh man, said so. Look what happened with Valley. They dropped the music program. Then Delta State got a music program. So that's crazy. HBCUs had to get infrastructure ready for increase of students going to cost money. Um, I mean, to me, I think it's. I mean, I'm.
Well,
We gonna see
let,
it.
let me, let me let me touch on that, Doc. Two things could be true. It's like, yeah, that's obvious that we have to increase the money for infrastructure, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all state supported schools. Where do you think the money for the infrastructure comes from?
Come from the state government,
It comes from the state, but all of us are in states where we're already not being funded correctly to begin with.
right?
So just saying that we need more, I mean, like this, it's obvious that we need more money for infrastructure. This ain't nothing new. We needed the money for infrastructure last year, and 5 years before that, and 10 years before that, and 20 years before that. It's nothing new. We know this. The states know that too, and we're still not being funded correctly.
Right.
That's the whole point. That's the gist of it. So to sit here and say you think the state doesn't know that we started to get this influx of students in, they know this. You think they're gonna cut us more money because of it? You think you gonna bank on that? I tell you what. Do you want to hold your breath until we get the money? You're gonna be dead and gone,
Hmm.
and you know this.
Yeah. That's crazy. Moving Hines Community College nursing program to Rankin County. That's dumb. That's stupid.
Dude, you had junior colleges in Mississippi with a nursing program before Alcorn got there.
That's crazy. And since like we said, we talking about this, and we were just talking about overall because since now, this is more of a sports show. We asked the question, what does it do? How does it affect sports? Let's see. Let me see.
Hold on one more thing. Hold on. Last comment. You say lawsuits take time. Do you understand who you're suing, and then understand who you're going to with the what's the word I want to use with the allegation against?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you can have a lawsuit. You can have evidence that you should win. It still doesn't constitute a guarantee of win.
Right.
I mean, the same people that you're suing is on the board and is the judge of who you or who's going to hear your what I'm saying, the issues that you have. Even having proof doesn't warrant or doesn't guarantee a victory for you.
Right.
I mean, it's not. I know you might say, "What do you do? Do nothing?" No, you fight and you try, but understand what you're up against. The state has denied money, not just Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Alabama, Tennessee. I mean, look at Tennessee State. They're about to be awarded all this money, and the state is telling them, "Oh, having this money got to go to building old, dilapidated buildings."
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So, it's like, what do you do? What do you do? Like that's what I'm saying. We act like, oh, yeah, we'll just file a lawsuit. You're filing a lawsuit, and then who is the lawsuit going to?
Going
Whose court are you in? Whose judge is listening to the case?
the state.
I mean, I, 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 I I'm not attacking you because you are right. But understand, we know this going in. They don't even they can't even print the money for what they owe all these HBCUs, bro. They can't even print the money for what
Yeah,
they owe.
because they do, they're gonna be broke. uh, so because we on the sports part, on the sports, centric. So think about the impact this will have on the Tennessee State hockey team. Will it be positive or negative? In a sense, I think it will. I don't think it will affect the hockey team because I feel like if if Boston University don't have a scholarship available for a player, not saying that he's a black player or even a white player, just a player in general, they look around that, hey, there's a spot open here at Tennessee State. Are you willing to go? Are you willing to go? And so that's the thing that I look at it as far as with sports. Are you willing as a 3-star, 4-star, are you willing to go to a HBCU when you might not be able to even sniff the field at a PWI, or might not even touch the court, or even what I'm saying, or even go into the batter's box? Because I'm just looking at all things from a different aspect. So you know, uh, let's see. So the state dictates HBCU enrollment, so that just means less black college students overall. What do you think about that? Mm. But that is true. We fight on, when you sue the state, you fight on multiple fronts. So it's not like you just can't give up and give in, because if you win one case, then it's going to be another case that's going to follow right behind it, and you got to fight
But
that.
here's the thing though. We Jackson State won the Ayers case,
Yeah, I remember.
right?
Yeah,
Watch this. Watch this. They won the Ayers case. Tennessee State won their case. But watch this. What constitutes a win when the person who lost can dictate how you get your reward?
right.
The same thing happened to Jackson State Alcorn and Valley. Same thing is currently happening to Tennessee State. FAMU students are suing the state of Florida. It's not about whether you get a win. What constitutes a win? Because again, when you get your win, the person or the entity that lost to you dictates how you get your reward or lack thereof.
There you go. Okay. My thing about this too. Let me see. Hold on, we got a question. Do HBCUs have to continue to let white people in to keep that funding, or is that going to change too?
It's not HBCUs. Every state is different.
Yeah,
That was I can't say because I don't know the intricate the in and outs of what they had to do. But for Jackson State, when they was in the Ayers case, that was something that applied to us, which was ludicrous because the premise for why the state was even sued to begin with had nothing to do with well, they try to flip it basically because it's like minorities going into white institutions and that's not being funded. So they flipped it. It's like
mm-hmm.
you need to raise minority white people being able to go to HBCUs. So I
But they
mean,
have to
again,
have 10%. In order.
and again, but here's the thing: when you make laws, you dictate everything. We don't make laws, so that's why I say what constitutes as a win. Because yeah, you can win, but the entity that just lost dictates how you get your reward or the lack thereof. Tennessee State is about to get what $700 some million, and they're still getting pennies on the dollar.
Yep.
They're not getting everything that's owed to them, and they're being told how they're going to get their money and where the money's going to go. Not
Mm.
here's a $700 million reward. Bam, sorry for the inconvenience. That's not what's happening.
Yeah, it's not like in a sense like in Maryland, like they just I just seen earlier with Maryland HBCUs, they sued the state. All of the schools got awarded, but in that instance, because of the type of who was in the leadership in their state is a Democratic governor, he didn't put in provisions saying like, yeah, I'm gonna give you this money. Now you got to do what we tell you how to do with this money. No, it's your money. Do what you need to do in order to get your schools up to par with the PWIs in our state. Is it was it enough? Did they get awarded all their money? Not really, but it's a start. You know what I'm saying? It's a start, and they have the free will to do with what they want to do with their money. Um, you know, and we remember the Ayers case. The us three schools we sued, and it was $500 million, and you split that between three schools.
And put stipulations on how you get the money.
Yep.
And hold on, here's the caveat. Most of the time, when you go to court and whether you win or lose, your punishment typically keeps you from doing the same thing that you just got punished for.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we act like racism doesn't exist, right? Tennessee State, I'm gonna use them for an example. They're gonna get their $700 million, right?
Right.
And then you know how they're gonna feel? Oh, we washed away our sins because we gave you $700 million. Now we're back to business as usual.
Yep. And I think that's where we messed up at. We messed up at because yeah, like you said, we got the money. I mean, but we got stipulations put on it, and we didn't continue to fight to get those, to get rid of those stipulations. So, in reality, I don't even think Valley had got any of that money like that.
I
So,
don't know. I don't know.
$503 million, and you divide that between three schools. Hold on. Supposed to get 168 mil between three schools, and the state just put the stipulations in. Let's see. And
And
we
I'm
just
telling
had,
you,
yeah,
I'm telling you, the temperature in the room is going to be, we've washed away our sins because we paid you this money.
yep.
Now our sins are now. Hey, we're clean. We've washed our sins away. Now we're back to business as usual. Because guess what? We're still going to underfund you, but we took care of that because we paid you all this money.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Valley never reached that 10% on the non-black student enrollment. Why? Because they're in the middle of Itabena. Um. So my, it's just I don't know. I don't know that. Like I said, we just don't know. But like Cedric said, man, we look out for other things that's gonna come down the pipeline with this ruler by itself, because when they got rid of Roe versus Wade. So in a sense, I feel like they got rid of that because I hate to say this, white men wanted to be in charge in majority. Um, yeah, I feel like because some of that they're about to be the minority because Hispanic population has boomed up. So basically, the Hispanics going to be the majority in this country. White people are losing their foothold as being the majority. And so what you do, you get rid of Roe versus Wade. You know what I'm saying? And then you put all these provisions, and then and it was so crazy. Once Roe v. Wade ended, every state, every red state in the United States had their own rules and their own laws. It just said, boom, we about to take off. So and that's the thing. It was it was a precursor for what was going on with affirmative action. Of course, with this Voting Rights Act, what what were the things that they are that this majority um, Supreme Court had attacked? It was out. They said it was outdated. We don't need it no more. We see that everybody's equal under the law when it comes to voting, and we see that that was not the case. Uh, guess what? They got rid of it. So it's a domino. In a sense, it's a domino effect. It's a domino effect from everything that happened. So, and like I said, the next thing gonna be, I don't know. I mean, what is the next thing that's gonna happen? what is the next thing that's gonna happen? What they gonna do? They're gonna go into look at the amendment, the Constitution, and say the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment we don't need.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I would not be shocked if they actually probably try to cancel the 1964 Voting Rights Civil Rights Act. I wouldn't be surprised. And even if they did, I guarantee you, you would not have 100% agreement of of anger and an issue with it from all black people in this country,
Hmm.
and that's sad.
Because we always say that, well, our vote don't count. That's the main thing that they're gonna say. Our vote don't count. But you have to understand, you don't know if your vote counts or not if you don't understand what's going on out there.
We won't even have an uproar of all the African Americans in this country by what happened today. Another sad point.
Hmm. Mr. Harris said 14th Amendment is next. And that is true. They used the 14th Amendment as a reason to strike down affirmative action. Said we ain't need it. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. Oh, man. I'm going to read into some more of this. And I know Timona, she said she going to get the docket on there. And she said that's 173 pages. Me, as much as I love to read, I'm not about to read 173 pages of that docket, but I'm gonna look at some of the whatever that's important in it and be like, hey, this is what they did, this is how they did it, this is what they going on. Um, but other than that, man, uh what we got y'all got tomorrow, just same old, same old Zoe.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Same old tomorrow. On top of that, players be getting a break as of today until next week.
right.
We're in the second session of summer school, and outside of it, yeah, man, same old, same old. We'll probably even top on some of this tomorrow too, because you know, I hate to even say this, but the vast majority of us, really don't think are really gonna soak this in and really understand what happened today, or really
Mm-hmm.
dive into it. Because we tend to live in our own bubble and think that if something doesn't immediately affect us right then and there, then we're kind of just numb to it or don't want to believe that it's happened or it's not real life or I don't care because it's not affecting me personally at the moment.
Right.
But man, if something affects any of us in any segment of us, it's going to affect all of us at some point. It's almost like saying, you know, when you can see somebody get in an accident and they're hurt by it, you can have some empathy, but you kind of numb to it because it didn't affect you or it didn't affect your family.
Mm-hmm.
But bro, I'm telling you, we all gonna be affected by this in some shape, form, or fashion or another. And I'm talking about soon and very soon.
Right. Well, man, I appreciate you jumping on and giving your insight about this, and and we gonna tune in tomorrow. So I ain't doing no show tomorrow, so we gonna tune in tomorrow night and see what y'all got planned on. And I know Ken gonna might probably talk about this tomorrow too.
Oh, trust me, we already. I actually found out from him. So, like I said, I've been on campus all day, and he hit me up and told me. And I was like, whoa. So, but yeah, we'll address it tomorrow for sure.
Oh yeah. All right, now, man, you have a good one, bro.
I mean, man, y'all take it light, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Later.
Like, yeah, yeah, man. So y'all tune in tomorrow night for that because like I said, I know Ken. He gonna talk about that, and he gonna uh we gonna talk about what that means for us. And ain't no, we is not trying to pull no January the 6th. We is not that type of people right there. We ain't trying to be like that. Ooh, imagine if those black players walked out of Colorado. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. I was supposed to have an interview with Aaron Webb, but because of the ruling today, I scratched that and we went with this right here. I know it's a little last minute right there, but we gonna get him on the show on Monday at 7. So y'all tune in on for that for Monday at 7. Uh, I want to give a shout out to the associate AD for communications, Fred Sington at Alabama State. Called me, even though I did the interview with Mikey Victor. In a sense, I was supposed to go through with him, to make sure it get verified, everything is cool. So I've already talked to him, see if I could get Coach Robinson on the show. Um, Everything is all good right there. So he was a cool dude. So we chopped it up for a second. He was a cool dude. But I'm gonna bring this link back up for Uncle Said right here and see what he got to say. Hey, brother Bakari, if you still in there, if you still in the chat, come on up too, man. I want to get your perspective on this. All right, all right, Uncle Said, what's up?
Hey, I got off. I saw my brother Uncle Bakari and a lot of people in the chat. But again, just to reinforce this, please, ma'am, please, sir, up the ante, regardless of what your bubble is currently,
Mm-hmm.
because today's price in 2024 is not going to be that price. So please up your ante. Whatever you got to do, get your resume together. I posted my information. Um, the chat is welcome to hit me up. Anything that I can do, because at the end of the day, I'm not even locked in at this point. I mean, because at the end of the day, hell, I'm a CFO of a damn Fortune 500, and now hell, I'm feeling crazy because I can't go to EEOC anymore.
Right.
So I want you guys to understand that we are educated, whether it's high school, junior college, undergrad, master's, PhD, legal, doctor, nursing. Right now is the time to be proactive, because I want you guys to understand what this is actually doing. We don't have an excuse anymore, although it was not an excuse. It was the law.
Right.
It was the law. So we got to be proactive. I just post on there why that money is still out there. They're giving up to $1 million every year for the SBA minority. Before they go ahead and try to cut that out, go ahead and jump on that. I don't give a look. I'm not trying to get you flagged, but I'm gonna say I don't give a darn if you say American.
Mm.
Apply counteract this because we are in that, and we have to find ways to keep afloat, to keep going.
Right.
So please, ma'am, please, sir, everybody in this chat, you spread the word, you talk to people, reach one, teach one, because you gotta understand, regardless of whether you're Democrat or Republican, nationalist, it doesn't matter. The first setup was Roe versus Wade. Now it's AA. So just understand that being unionized is not going to be privy anymore. Just understand that. So like I said, just please, ma'am, please, sir, your resumes apply up while you can. And if there are any veterans, try government jobs, any salesmen out there, you use your degrees to get into, just high powered stuff that you can make six figures and you can take care of your family. Because you have the degrees to do so.
Right.
And for all the therapists out there, you may want to think about going into finding a way to go into your own practices and things of that nature. I mean, we gotta think right now, because it's kind of like us playing T-ball, but they throwing 98-mile-per-hour fastballs.
Right.
And just to comment, with the person's sock in the chat was talking about the hockey and stuff like that. I get it, but at the end of the day, if Tennessee State is going to be an HBCU that has a hockey team, who the hell are they going to play? They got to travel to play.
Right.
So, I mean, we got to think about stuff like that. So, I mean, yes, is it historical? Hell yeah. Am I going to have a hockey Tennessee State jersey? Hell yeah, I'm going to do it because I'm going to support that.
Right.
But we got to put our thinking caps on today. Please, ma'am, please, sir. We got to put our thinking caps on today. So no matter what you're doing, I don't care if you're a security officer, you need to be thinking about getting your own practice with that. Or you can have multiple security people working for you. Whatever you think, whatever you have going on, you need to up your thinking now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to say this one more time. Today's visual and portrait is not going to look the same this time next year in 2024. That's all I got to say. I thank you guys. Just please hit me up. My information is in the chat. Right now, like I said, I hadn't been at work since early today when I found this news out.
Right.
Because, I mean, I'm not trying to play that card, but hell, I have an all-white staff working for me.
Right.
And this got me, in it has my mind just combobulated now.
Right. Mr.
So,
Brother Bethard, hold on. How y'all doing?
I'm
Hey,
good. How you doing?
all right. How y'all doing? Can you
Good.
hear me, Doc?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Okay. All right.
What do you think about today, man? Yeah,
You want to go first, Brother McCarr?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
we can hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, what's up? What's going on, everybody? Said Miss Full,
Hey, how you
Doc, yo,
doing?
what's going on? Everybody in the chat. Look, this is what I think about today, and
Hey, Uncle Ford.
I'm
Hey,
gonna
Uncle Bakar.
yeah,
Oh, let's say it.
say it again.
That was said, Cedric.
I said, hey, Uncle Ford. Hey, Uncle Bakar.
Hey, how's
Oh,
it
okay.
going? Yeah.
This is my thing, right? For me, uh, it's not as I understand the effect that it have, but it's not as bothersome to me as it is to others because I'm honest with myself. I'm honest with reality. I know how this country and these people feel about us, people in power, and nothing they ever do to hurt us uh never surprised me. What I think what surprised me is how a lot of us don't understand who was behind helping push this, right?
Right.
I'm a black man of African descent. I'm not a person of color. Let's go study and look and see how the Asians was behind this. See, we have to understand nobody have our back. The great Dr. John Henry Clark said a long time ago, if you want a friend, look in the mirror. And if you don't nothing smile back, you ain't got no friends.
Hmm.
See, for me, that's why I turned off college sports a long time ago. See, as long as we allow our children to go to those schools, then we still support those schools. We are supporting everything they're doing to us. They making billions and billions of dollars off our back,
Right.
off the back of our children, off the back of our youth. And we don't say or do anything about it. So for me, I turned it off a long time ago because if we're going to talk about exploiting, and if we want to talk about we can say affirmative. See, because these athletes that we still support that going to these schools, because people gonna turn on and watch Texas and Oklahoma, the Red River Classic. I
Right.
think that's what it called.
No,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, that's it.
Mississippi State and Ole Miss, the Egg Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want you to look and see who on the field and look and see who in the stands. Look and see who's getting rich and look and see who's staying poor. Look and see who look and see who they are taking everything from. So
Mm.
now if our parents, and I'm being honest, this is me how I get down. I've been this way. I was raised this way, raised in this lifestyle. We have to start looking at our people different. If you still want to send your children there, what make them so much better? Do we feel the same way about us that they feel about us?
Right.
It's time to start boycott. Me, I've been doing a personal boycott. I tell people I boycott businesses in the black community that's not black owned. I'm just being honest. I boycott them all. I drive 10 miles to go get gas because I found me a black owned gas station.
Hmm.
If you want to hurt them and you want some things to change,
Pocket.
keep your money in your pocket. Stand up to this beast. And I know you said, Doc, we ain't gonna do January 6th, but I want you to understand that's how they got this country. That's how they were able to put us on the bottom of these ships. And I'm not saying we need to go do that because we are not in that position because it's not. See, our January 6th don't need to be running up in a building. Our January 6th need to, let's stay out of their buildings. Let's keep our money in our pocket. All you got to do is study the Dr. King bus boycott in Selma, Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama. You see how it made it change things. We gonna have to. I'm just saying, if we want something to change, if you want this reversed, all them 5 stars and 4 stars that just signed with Alabama, LSU, Tennessee, Mississippi State. Oh, now don't get it. I understand why they go because
Mm-hmm.
they can get a little money and they were probably, probably never had the money like that. Their parents and I understand it. But what I'm saying is, if we gonna be about our people, I can't be selfish unless I'm using this to build all those up. That's my take on it. Yes, this affirmative action. Yes, what's going on? It's gonna hurt a lot of black people. But now the HBCUs should be flooded. So now a lot of these black people that hated HBCUs should understand. You hate HBCUs, you want to go there, and they don't even want you. Like I said, Florida and Texas did they got rid of the diversity, inclusion, and equality earlier this year.
Yeah.
So this was nothing new. This was in more going like Sid was saying, more coming down that road. 2024 ain't gonna more and more is coming down this road. And we just need to understand what we're up against. Because if we're honest, if you look out, they're trying to make it 1955 again. You might not believe it. You might not believe it. But I'm telling you, that's what they're trying to do. On that, I yield like to Mr. Fold.
All right, man. I gotta give him a clap for that. Well, we gotta. Mr. Israel said you told us a long time ago, Mr. Ford. They don't want you there no way. They ain't never want you there.
Hey, listen. One of the things we have to keep in mind is the Book of Acts. It says, "Worry about nothing and pray about all things." One of the things Dr. Eugene Walker taught me at Clark a long time ago was that there's nothing new under the sun. This is not the first time they've tried to take rights from Black people by using the Supreme Court. Basically, what they're trying to do is reinstitute what we call Plessy versus Ferguson, separate but equal. But I'm going to say this, and I know some people not going to understand it. This is actually a distraction. The major thing, and you kept asking in your last segment, you said, what's coming down the pipe next?
What's coming down the pipe
Well,
next?
the next thing is the Supreme Court is going to rule that we go away from what we call democracy to what we call martial law or military rule. That's coming down the pipe. The next thing that's going to happen in the next 6 months, there's going to be a meeting in South Africa. It's this group called the BRICS. And the primary people are China, Russia, Brazil, Saudi Arabia, the country that was once called it's called Iran.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what they want to do is that they want to crash the American economy because basically these countries want to isolate America. And the way that they're going to attempt to do it is that they're going to try to remove the dollar as the world currency. And once they do that, that's going to throw America in something worse than the Great Depression. And y'all think it's bad now? Y'all think inflation is terrible and all that? It's going to be 20 times worse. And that Zoe kept saying what it's going to look like next year. The main thing it's going to look like next year is that the economy is going to go, it's going to be worse than it was in 2007, 2008. That's what they don't want y'all to know about. See, this thing about Trump's legal problems, that's a distraction. This mess they did today, that's a distraction. The main thing coming down the pipe in the next 6 months, this economy is going to crash. This economy is going to crash. And you know, I was talking on this, I guess it's been was it last summer? I kept telling people, I said, wait, y'all gonna see Jackson State, Alcorn, gonna have to play twice. Southern, Grambling gonna have to play twice. You know why they got to play twice? Because the economy is gonna be tore up. And these schools are not going to be able to travel like they're doing now. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in a nutshell. Ever since that George Floyd incident, Black people have been going up. The oppressor's power has been going down. And so they are trying to do things to stop that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the major thing that's on that. That's what that's all about. See, when you look at Blacks, Latinos, Native Americans,
right,
they won't tell you this, but you're the majority in America now.
Yeah.
You are the majority. And the thing that's saving them as far as that presidency is concerned is that electoral college. Because if Blacks, and Latinos and Native Americans are now the majority, you know how they vote. That means the rest of your presidents are going to be Democratic.
Right.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing now. The thing that's saving them is that electoral college. Because you got to remember one thing about Trump. Trump never beat none of his opponents. He didn't beat Hillary. The electoral college put him in there.
Right.
He didn't beat Biden. Okay. And so they see that and they know that. See what they're saying, the bad word for them is this whole thing of a multiracial democracy. That's not what the majority of the people in this country want. They want, if they're going to be the minority, they want the power still in their hands. They want it to be like in South Africa. You know, in South Africa, it was 26 million blacks ruled by 4 million whites. That's what they want in America. That's the same thing they want here. But like I said, I don't have time to worry about it because I do believe it is a spiritual part to this. And like I said, the one thing I want the people to remember, the Bible, the book of Acts says, worry about nothing and pray about all things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were waiting on this on Tuesday night, so it was to the point where I was trying to figure out what they were gonna say, but I didn't know they were gonna wait until today to make the ruling. And like I was saying earlier, the person who argued to end it benefited from it the most, who was Clarence Thomas.
Well,
AKA,
you got to remember who controls him. He was controlled by the Bushes from day one. Matter of fact, I think his wife is a cousin to the Bushes. He was strategically put in. Okay, that they've always known he was going to do that. Like you said, he did because he came from Pinpoint, Georgia, which is right outside of Savannah. He went to Holy Cross, and I think after Holy Cross, he went to law school at Yale. All that was paid for by affirmative action, and now he claims he hates affirmative action. See, that's what you call an opportunist. And see, we're gonna always have opportunists. But if you put it in God's hands and you do what the scriptures tell you to do, you don't have to worry about them kind of people. They can't stop nothing.
mm-hmm.
They can't stop nothing.
And then what he said, his dissenting argument, and where he was talking about with chief of it with Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. I was like, I don't like that because you going after a woman who was well qualified for the position that she got herself in, that she was nominated for anyway, that she was confirmed for anyway.
Well, see, first of all, if you look at the Supreme Court, okay, they've already told you Brett Kavanaugh is a serial rapist.
Yeah.
Okay. Clarence Thomas is a criminal.
Yeah.
He done sold his vote. He done took all kind of stuff that he didn't disclose. All that's criminal. Okay. That lady from
Anita
the
Hill.
one that Trump put on from Indiana, that lady's in a cult.
What's her name?
I can't think of her name, but she's in a cult. Now, the thing that you got to remember is 3 things Trump did when he got in office. Number one, he lied every day. He was up to the point where he had told over 24,000 lies. The other thing he did when he was president was that he made sure that all the money stayed in the hands of the 1%. Mm-hmm. The third thing he did was that he flooded all of the court with different judges. He tried to make sure that he put all these judges from the Supreme Court on down. So he's expecting those people to carry out certain things that he wants. And this is one of them. They've always wanted to kill this. So, but like one of your people said, basically, when you go back and study affirmative action, it did the people that benefited the most was white women. Okay, they gave black women something, but it didn't compare to what white women got from affirmative action. But really, see, the biggest problem with us. Here's the biggest problem with us. Almost 70% of our people are out of control. We have a 30 to a 33% of our people who decided they're not going to charade anymore, and they have returned to their heritage. Okay, they not in love with them folk because they say their water is better and they want to be there. They want to be with their own people, mm-hmm. and they want to love their own people. And so that's the good part about what's going on, because there's a uptick in the black community right now on these black college campuses that they trying to stop, but they're not going to be able to stop it. They're not going to be able to stop it. And they think that this ruling right here is going to stop what's happening in the black community, the positives and the things good that are happening. It's not going to stop.
Right.
But like I said, the problem with us is that almost 70% of our people are out of control. All this killing, in every major city, you know, the young people killing each other and robbing and all that. See, that's what's holding us back. That's what's holding us back.
It's true, and also, you know, like I said, this brother Cedric again, you know, a lot of stuff, and I appreciate Uncle Carr, Uncle Ford, nephew, you guys saying this thing, but you know, I'm just sitting here strategizing because, like I said, I'm in a whole different kind of thing, if you will, right now, because, like I said, you know, for people like myself, I can't go to the EEOC anymore.
Right.
Because it's not gonna hold weight. But what I'm willing to do, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna send you on Twitter because, like I said, you and Tamara that taught me in Twitter. What I want to do, give me now, chat. Please give me 90 days to set this stuff up. But what I'm willing to do, because I know on social media, a lot of people charge for stuff like this, but I have a knowledge of it and I've done it for years. But what I want to do, just give, like I said, just hold me to it. Just give me 90 days. But what I want to do is on some nights that you're on, if you allow me to, I want to teach us, and we'll go step by step. We'll go from A to Z. Whether you have knowledge of it, it does not matter. But before this dollar goes into an array, I am willing, and you can clip this, you can clip it, whatever you want to do with it. But I'm going to begin holding seminars, if you give me your blessing, on your channel on how to day trade, on how to trade options, on how to execute forex, different things involving real estate, learning how to buy, flip with no money down, and things of that nature. But like I said, just give me 90 days so I can brush up on everything. And, you know, I would definitely share that because I know a lot of times, you know, people, they charge for stuff like that. But, you know, we got to be proactive like now, no matter what you're making. But these are some things that can kind of elevate us above the learning curve.
Right.
Because see, I'm being honest with you. I'm afraid right now. Yes, do I have a PhD? Yes. Do I have 4 degrees? Yes. But I have a 90% white staff stretched over 8 states that report to me.
Mm-hmm.
So not only am I talking to you guys, I'm talking to myself. I'm practicing what I preach because this is going to get real. And Uncle Ford, I love you for bringing the spiritual connotation into that because we need that right now. Actually, we need it all the time.
Right.
We need it all the time.
Well,
So
one of the things I would encourage every black man, woman, and child to do right now is learn how to make money with your hands. Learn how to do something. If it's raising crops, if it's building houses, if it's cosmetology, but learn how to make money with your hands because that's going to be very essential in the coming days. Know how to lay pipes, know how to do plumbing work, learn how to raise money. Because see, here's the thing. I don't know if y'all would listen to it, but I just talked about that BRICS conference. See, if China, Russia, Brazil, Iran, if they are able to crash the dollar, which they want to remove the dollar as the world currency, that's going to bring about a war. And I can tell you right now, the first part of that war is going to be over in that Pacific Rim with them Koreas and China and all that. You asking earlier, Doc, you said what's next down the pipe? If they able to crash that dollar, a world conflict is one of the major things that's coming down the pipe. It's
Yeah,
coming. Ain't nothing we can do about it.
I don't think they want that either.
Yeah, it's coming. It's if they able to crack. When they got the meeting in August, it's in South Africa, and what those countries are trying to do. See what China and Russia basically what they're saying is they want to isolate America, and they feel that the best way to isolate America is to isolate America economically and bring her down by bringing down that American dollar as the world currency. And that's what I'm telling you. That's the next major thing down the pipe. And I understand everybody, and I can understand why people are upset, but I'm telling y'all, Trump's legal problems and this ruling right here,
Oh, it wasn't.
these are distractions. These
So,
are distractions.
Please, man, please understand this. We were actually ranked as far as currency at number 4 as far as 2016. We are ranked number 18 right now.
Yeah.
so, Mr. Uncle said you got my blessing to we could do a seminar on the show. We could do it like every week. I just got to pick a day as far as what we're gonna do. Yep, Mr. Allen, economic takeover.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, nephew, is that I can, like I said, just give me like I said, just please, give me like 90 days so I can brush up on everything. But I can also teach how to go through the Lords of London. I can also teach how to invest in foreign currencies with pennies on the dollar as well.
So EA put up in here, he put in the chat, he said I urge all HBCUs, please get your house in order to receive new applicants and have housing. Minimal red tape for registration, professionalism at all levels. This is a blessing in disguise for HBCUs. I I I I 100% agree with this man.
Oh, I do it. Like I said, what's happening? We are going through a renaissance in the Black community. I'm not talking about these people who doing all this stupid stuff out here, but if you are doing the correct things in life right now, it's a renaissance. Okay, and that's why what they're trying to do. They see this renaissance happening, and they're trying to stop it. And that's why you issue stuff like that. But see, this is letting you know if you got to kill affirmative action, you losing power. That's why you want to kill it. You're losing power.
Yep. That's all it is.
Yep.
You about to say, Car?
Hey, let me say this right. Mr. Ford said some just a few minutes ago. He was talking about trades. I don't ever plug my channel, so I won't. But I can tell you this, right? If you don't get, this is something I do every Sunday, right? I have something called Mind Our Black Business. And I do business. Sunday I did businesses that you could start with $1,000 or less. You're one of the fastest growing businesses in this country was garbage can cleaning. A lot of people don't know it. I already helped two. I helped two brothers a couple years ago start it because I owned a residential trash company, and I turned those brothers on to some of my customers. People will pay for to clean the outside garbage can. Look it up. It got so big now they make trucks designed just to clean the outside garbage can, but you don't want to spend $67,000 to $80,000 on that truck when you can get your $125 pressure washer from Walmart, a scrub brush, a water hose, some bleach, and some Fabuloso, and and you can go out there. And if you want information, I can tell you how to charge, how much to charge, but that's one of the fastest growing business. Another one, since most people we haven't started boycotting yet, and since those people still in your neighborhood, tell them if you don't have me to clean these windows, a window cleaner, people don't understand how much money window cleaner make. I also own a window cleaner. I ran it under my pressure washing business. But you can get you a bucket, a scrub brush, not too tough, a bristle brush to scrub the bugs out the window, and a squeegee. You can start that business with $100, some paper towel, and you should be able to, since people in the community, they getting your money, and if they don't want to do business with you, run them out the community. Don't do no business with them. I'm just saying, those are the pressure washing. Those are just some things I'm talking about, like, because Mr. Ford said learn that trade, and that is good. So for the people that don't even want to go to school to learn the trade, that's okay too. I got more businesses, but right now I just want to tell you about those three that don't cost much money, and you can look it up. If y'all don't believe, y'all can go Google the average. How much money does a garbage can cleaner make? A window washer make? And I ain't even talking about cleaning on tall skyscrapers, because I was not getting up there because I'm scared of heights. I had I had restaurants and I had gas stations.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing. I can't even think of the name of Ultra. Y'all heard of Ultra Beauty Supply? I
Yeah.
know the women heard of Ultra Beauty Supply. Yes. Uh, All Whites, Pleasure Whites. I had a contract with them as well. So I'm just saying there's things out here that we can do, and we do have to work together. Just like say he give a seminar, I ain't asking to do no seminar. I don't charge for none of this because I want to see our people do good. And I want us to understand the power in, if we start working together,
Right.
how these businesses and things we want to do to clean our community, how they can take off, and how we can have all the control and power that we want. Maybe not in this country, but should nobody have control and power in our neighborhoods, our communities, other than us?
Right.
That's just my take on that. On that note, look, I'm gonna get off, Doc. But look, said it was nice being up here with you, Mr. Ford. It was good to
Yeah,
hear from you,
okay. Good day for you, brother.
and everybody.
And like I said, and and Uncle Bakari, just understand, this is something. I'm just like yourself, man. Uncle Bakari, I want to do this for Scott free, because at the end of the day, we still have to go back to where we came from, and that's reach one, teach one. We cannot let that go. We
Right.
cannot let that go. And Uncle Ford is right. I mean, this is a renaissance right now. So this is just something that, like I said, right now, I mean, because, and I'm, like I said, I'm being transparent. Although I don't have any astringencies right now with my job or with my career, but it's just, you got to understand what this stuff is doing. See, that's gonna create, that's gonna affect unions now. See, they trying to turn everything into at will, where you don't have to go to the powers to be just to get rid of people,
Yeah.
for them to get in who they want. See, this affects a lot. This affects a whole lot than what we thinking now. So, I mean, we got to come up with strategies. We got to stick together, and we just got to go back to, like Uncle Ford said, praising God and thanking Him. But we also got to use what the HBCU space has taught us, and that's reach one, teach one.
Right.
We got to do that. Like, we got to start today.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you were doing, we gonna let that go as far as yesterday. But today, we got to start, and we got to do something about it.
So yeah, brother C Lee just jumped in for a second. He on the run. He got to go. He got to do some stuff, but he gonna be on Ken Clark tomorrow, so he gonna further elaborate on that show tomorrow. But he just said, understand that education is the first step, and denying government contracts to black-owned businesses is the next step. It's time to embrace black nationalism. He said, "I'm out, y'all. Stay vigilant." I mean, it's true. We got Juwan. He said that it's called free game. We are the only people that don't want to help each other, but we will destroy each other. It's time to work together. Sam Smith, unity. Five finger spread can be easily broken, but bring them together and you have a fist and a weapon. So, um, I mean everything that everybody's saying on here, everybody's saying on here is correct, is true. We just have to be vigilant. We have to act up on it. And not just saying do it for like a couple of days and then that's it. Like we gotta be, you have to be able to do it every day, every hour, on the hour, don't matter how it is. Um, But like I said, Uncle said, you got my blessing. We can do a seminar, like you said. You got 3. You said you gonna give me about at least 90 days. That's 3 months. So that's what September.
Yeah,
So pretty much right after.
we can drop it. We can begin dropping it when the fall season come in, football season in effect. And I'm definitely willing, but like I said, just give me time because to kind of brush up on my skills and stuff. I mean, I still have my skills because I do it all the time, but
Right,
I just want to be able to brush up on my skills so we can teach the masses.
right.
Because I know over social media, you have these people. Oh, I'm going to teach you forex, but you got to pay $32.50. Oh, I'm going to teach you how to own trucks, but you got to pay $12.50. I mean, we're going to cover a lot of ground. Whatever the profession is, they're because I have so many colleagues, and I thank the good Lord, that I've met in my journey. I've met a lot of people. I didn't, years ago, I didn't know that, you can actually, if for a truck driver, you can actually not be a truck driver, but you their appointments and you can get paid off of that.
Right.
I had to go through the school of hard knocks to learn about stuff like that. So, whatever I can offer, whatever you guys can offer, we got to be proactive and we got to think about this stuff now because, we got to think about our children. I mean, I just got, kinfolk through you finna go to Jackson State in the fall. We got to think about stuff like that, man.
My stepson
We
to go
got to think about that stuff like now, because I mean it's very imperative that we begin to live our lives privy to the great information that is going to come forth, whether it's spiritual, whether it's business, whether it's education, whether because it's all love.
Yeah.
And Uncle Ford, you hit the nail on the head. This is a renaissance. It's a renaissance right now. Think about these degrees that we have. Everybody on this chat that has gone to HBCU know what it is to study on a Saturday night. And can't nobody in this chat tell me I'm lying. You know what it is.
They go to a football game, go to the club, and still be at 2:00 in the morning, and knowing you got to have a test on a Monday or a Tuesday. Yeah, I've been there. I've been through it plenty of times. But
Think about it. HBCUs was the first people to implement 24-hour computer labs and libraries. We were the first to do that. Think about it. That stuff was implemented through HBCUs. Because I'm going to tell you how I know. When I went to Mississippi State, after I left Tougaloo and Jackson State, they didn't have a 24-hour library. They didn't have a 24-hour computer lab. You had to come at a certain time. And I'm telling some of my people, like, dang, man, I ain't used to this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, reach one, teach one. And like I said, I'm gonna get off because I'm driving right now. I got my son and I'm head back to Memphis, but I'm listening in on the show. Great show. Thank you guys. Like I said, I just hope that this is an eye opener, for things to come. And if you didn't get, privy and your eye didn't open versus Roe versus Wade, I hope this is like the straw that has broken your back.
Right.
So you can start paying attention now. And we got to come up with ways to combat this thing. And all my people of the culture, let's take it back to the 2 jobs now. Let's take it back to that because we built like that. We built like that. So that's all I got to say, man. I love you guys. Let's keep pushing. But like I said, starting tomorrow, I know it's on a Friday and I know it's on a holiday weekend. But let's start to think upwards now.
Right.
Because a year from today, and like Uncle Ford said, hell, in 2 months, the new powers to be, they finna start talking about some things. So we gotta combat this, and let's just do what's right. Praise God. Take care of your family. Praying for you guys. I hope you guys pray for me. I love you guys. I hope you guys love me as well. And let me get back on the road, but I am finna listen in on the show. Y'all take care.
All right.
Okay, man.
And we needed that. we needed that. So
Listen, I think it's I'm trying to say it's Exodus chapter 20. If you live by them 10 commandments, if you do that perfectly, ain't no affirmative action can stop you. If every man, woman, and child that can hear my voice, go to Exodus 20, and there's the 10 commandments. If you do that perfectly, ain't nothing can stop you. You ain't got nothing to be worried about, no affirmative action, because baby, God got you. But you got to obey his laws. You got to obey his laws. But if you do that, hey, you ain't got to worry about no affirmative action. He'll open the windows of heaven to you. But you got to do it perfectly. It's right there. I think it's Exodus 20. Exodus 20th chapter. Look that up right quick, Doc. Isn't that right? Look up Exodus 20th chapter. See what comes up.
I got my.
It should be the 10 commandments. Do you see it?
Hold on. The Exodus.
It should be Exodus 20th chapter. See, what does it say?
I'm on my phone. I got to look at it on my phone.
Okay.
So 20 Exodus 20. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and the fourth generation of them that hate me, and shewing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you do that and do it perfectly, and you can do it perfectly, you ain't got to worry about no politicians, no politics, no parties, none of that. Like I said, God will open the windows of heaven to you. Just do that perfectly, because there's actually 10 of them.
The 10 commandments.
Yeah. You do that and see if affirmative action stops you.
It's supposed to stop me.
That's right.
His law is not supposed to stop you.
You're
supposed to follow God's law.
There you go.
That's how it's supposed to be. Oh man, it's gonna be some more talking about this, because I think we're gonna talk about this on Saturday, because Tamona's gonna have everything for Saturday.
Okay, all right. I thought Mr. Mona be on here tonight.
No, she had a show. She did a show earlier this afternoon, and I didn't even know. I woke up late on it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we'll figure we'll try to do some more stuff on Saturday, and then because I supposed to have an interview tonight at 7 with Aaron Webb, that's at Mississippi Valley. We kind of moved that to Monday because I wanted to get this out the way. Like I said, when I saw and I heard about the ruling, I was like, okay, we got to talk about this, because if I don't talk about it, I won't feel right.
Yeah. Well, you kind of alerted me the other night. We were talking about sports, and you said it.
Sports. Yeah, we were talking about sports, and I thought, I thought the ruler was going to come that night, and I was
right. That's right, because I remember you said somebody said they had it at night because they didn't want the people protesting. So they had made the ruling that night. So I was kind of waiting on it because you had already said it.
Yeah, I think they were gonna make that night, but sure, they did it today, and they tried to pull a fast one on us.
Oh yeah. But like I said, bro, when you got to do that kind of stuff, that means you're losing power, and you're trying to cut the power that we have. But they can't. The only way we can cut the power is living, like I said, these uncontrollable lives where you going out robbing people and breaking in people's cars and breaking in people's houses and raping these little girls and kidnapping these little girls. See and the sad part about it is we hurting ourselves.
Right.
That's what makes us our own people. That makes us our own worst enemy. You know, see, we can, if we that's. But the thing is, we got a 32 or 33% that's doing what they're supposed to do.
Right.
I'm serious. We got a 70% that's totally out of control. I mean, I sit here and I watch all these different channels from different cities. It's the same thing in every city. Our kids killing each other. Every city, Atlanta, Dallas, Chicago, New York, Philadelphia. I mean, Memphis. It's every night. Same thing every night. We're just like our own worst enemy.
Yeah. And so we gonna be back on here Saturday night. We're gonna talk more about that. Tomorrow I know I think she about to brush up on it. Like I said, Monday got an interview with Aaron Webb from Valley. I wanted to give a shout out to the associate AD for communication for media at Alabama State, Fred Singleton. He called me earlier today, and I didn't know that he wanted me to go through with him as far as when I interviewed Mikey Victor, because I just got it through his dad. But I told him, I said, look, I got your number, I got your email, so if I want to, my main thing, since I talked to him today, I want to interview Eddie Robinson Jr. So,
Oh yeah, somebody. What's your guy Jeff Lightsey?
mm-hmm.
I listened to it. Yeah, I heard the interview was it Monday?
I think so. It was
He
Monday.
did a good job. He did a good job. They talked about a lot of things too.
Yeah, so I want to talk to Eddie Robinson, and I want to try to see if I can get Demetrius Davis too on here. We can
Oh
try
yeah,
to, because he asked me if I was going to Swag Media Day, and I said, well, I haven't got any word back from the conference office as far as if they accepted my application. So if they accepted my application, then
right.
I'll be going. I mean,
And I saw where they're naming the new SWAC building after Dr. Franks. He was the SWAC commissioner when I was a student at Grambling.
okay.
His name was Dr. James Franks. Yeah, they said they're gonna name the new building after him.
Oh yeah. And EA, yeah, thank you for coming on here, coming in and gracing us in the chat. Even though you're a FAMU Rattler, I still love you as my brother.
Oh yeah, Rattler strike,
so,
Rattler strike.
so with this, all of like I said, even though my page, my channel is sports centric, is for the culture, and what we talked about today was for the culture. So we gotta get the word out, and we gotta kind of you know kind of in a sense vent, but it's really not venting. But we just want to know what's going to happen next with our institutions. That's the main thing. What is going to happen next with our institutions? So, um, I appreciate everybody for coming on and
Yeah,
speaking their piece. Zoe coming in earlier tonight, and Brother Bakari and Said and yourself, Mr. Ford.
yeah.
Like I said, if this wasn't the case, y'all coming on, I'm still learning and everything. I appreciate everybody for doing that.
Hey, thank you, thank you.
So
Yeah,
we're gonna get up
okay.
out of here, y'all.
Okay, y'all
And
have a good night, Doc. And
I,
I'll hopefully, Lord, when I'll see you Saturday. Hear you Saturday.
all right.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye-bye. So yeah, we're gonna get this thing going. Finish it off. So like I said, we're gonna be back on here Saturday night with Saturday Night Live, myself and She Loves D. And we gonna continue to talk about this. This is gonna be an ongoing discussion right here. Like right now, it's still an ongoing discussion on CNN. I'm still watching it. But like I said, this has been HBCU Tonight, episode 24. Like you see the title, SCOTUS Guts Affirmative Action for College Admissions. In college admissions, this is in conjunction with HBCU Overdrive, where HBCUs matter. If you haven't done it by now, make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. We had over 100 people watching this show tonight. Make sure that at least all 100 or 89 or how many is left in here, go and subscribe to the channel because, like I said, we got big things going on coming down the pipeline. Tune in to the channel sponsors. We work for everything.org to get all your merchandise, everything with them. Also, if you haven't done it yet, if you haven't seen it yet or done it yet, Mr. Quay Shield pop up with exclusive membership to the channel. We have the 2 tiers. We have Overdrive Blue and we have Overdrive Purple. Make sure y'all go ahead and get that because there's everything that you give us on this channel, it goes back into the channel. If you want to do a super chat, if you want to donate through super chat or you want to donate through Cash App, you can go ahead and do all that. Like I said, this is still an ongoing thing because we still got to pay the bills as far as make sure that we have enough space as far as to do the streams and stuff on here. I'm not even worried about buying no equipment because I'll do that on my own. But I just want to say this, y'all. We gotta be vigilant. We gotta be vigilant. We gotta be cautious. And for those who know what I'm saying, you gotta be cautious. You got to be cautious. And I'm gonna end it on that, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe and y'all stay dangerous until Saturday night. We out this thing. Peace.